Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this first video, what we're going to talk about are the top 3 mistakes you can make when facilitating a small group session. Small group teaching is the backbone of medical education. It includes tutorials, bedside teaching, simulation sessions, and it mainly consists of small groups of students. Here in the United Kingdom, it's usually between 6 to 8 individuals. What most people don't realize is that facilitating an effective small group learning session is harder than you think. It's quite easy to go ahead and have a mad chat or interesting discussion with students, but are they actually facilitating the generation of new knowledge? Are they reflecting? Is their learning actually happening? Well, that's a different story. What often happens in medical education is you find yourself in a position where suddenly you're delivering a tutorial, having never had the opportunity to have formal discussion about what a good tutorial looks like. It's worth noting that the success or the effectiveness of a small group session depends not only on the tutor, but also the students. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on the tutor. And that's you. First of all, don't talk too much. If you talk too much, it might as well be a lecture. And that completely defeats the purpose of having small group teaching. The idea is that the students have the opportunity to discuss and engage and bring their misunderstandings to the surface. And that can't happen if you're doing all the talking. This is the top mistake I see tutors do. And this is because they go into a small group session thinking that it's about the filling of a bucket. It's about me telling the students everything I know and then absorbing it. And this is actually one of the most important things that you can do, which is recognize that education isn't about the filling of a bucket, but rather the lighting of a fire. So in a small group session, it's more about the students engaging with you. There's a discussion, there's a back and forth, and that can't happen if you're going on a long monologue. Now, I'll stop here and say that sometimes it's appropriate for you to intervene and talk a little bit more, specifically if the students have a technical question that you have knowledge on and it's worth clarifying in order to continue on with the session. But most of the time, you need to talk a lot less. Trust me on this one, and get the students to talk a lot more. The second top mistake I see people do in a small group session is not facilitate or try to do something about low participation. It is your responsibility as the tutor to facilitate discussion. That means making sure that the person who's doing all the talking has a little quiet time, and also creating a safe psychological environment where the quieter person can get involved as well. This is one of the top skills that you need to learn when you're facilitating small group sessions, because it's really quite important that everybody that's in the room has the opportunity to participate and get involved with the learning. How do you do this? Well, I could spend a whole video talking about that. Third, and certainly not least, is a tutorial where the discussion is intentionally unfocused. And you might think that can't happen. I'm an experienced clinician. I know what I'm talking about. And I would say, whoa, I have seen it happen. And what is the main reason why this happens is that you haven't prepared for your tutorial. Preparation is so important when it comes to small group learning. I understand that many of the tutors who are involved in clinical teaching are very busy clinicians. When I'm talking about preparation, I'm not saying that you have to spend an hour working on figuring out what you're going to discuss in the tutorial. Rather, just taking even 15 minutes to look at the title of the small group session you were meant to facilitate, make sure you're familiar with the learning materials, and more importantly, that you're aware of the learning outcomes. If you don't have learning outcomes for the tutorial session, then we need to talk about that, because it's important that when you go into a small group session, there is a goal that by the end, you know that once we've achieved this thing or these 3 things, that we've discussed what we've needed to discuss. So don't make that mistake and be unintentional with your small group teaching. So to summarize, 1, make sure you don't talk too much. Basically, shut up. Let the students do most of the talking. 2, ensure that you're actually facilitating the group, making efforts to get everyone involved at certain points. And we can talk about how to do this in a later video. 3, prepare. Please prepare. It makes the world of a difference. And we can talk more about how to design a good small group teaching session. So that is the end of my first first video. A lot of preparation went into this, though not as much as it usually would have because I was trying not to be a perfectionist here. Click on the link to see my next video about small group teaching. If you've got ideas about stuff that you would want us to discuss here, or things that you struggle with when it comes to engaging in small group sessions, pop it down in the comments below. Otherwise, good luck with your educational teaching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, come here. Say hello to my teaching assistant.